First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
We're on your side with new information about what killed a Norfolk police recruit.
And you look at the video, it is readily apparent that this program was terribly designed and terribly executed.
The details in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit just filed by John Kahn's family. And we're monitoring the Dismal Swamp wildfire, and we'll tell you where the smoke is headed next. Plus, on Friday, passengers will roll with the tide. We'll show you the last-minute work underway in Norfolk, and we're getting answers to your questions about light rail. A state investigation reveals Norfolk police recruit John Kahn died after he suffered repeated hits to the head during a training exercise.
Now, this video shows those final blows to the head. They would leave John Kahn unconscious. Today, his family filed a $35 million lawsuit against members of the Norfolk Police Department. 10 on your side's Andy Fox has been following this story all day for us. He's here now with details. Andy?
Tom and Nicole, we have two parts of a story here, the Labor Department findings and the Kahn family lawsuit. Patricia Kahn had two choices, walk away or go to court. She's decided to take her family's case to a jury.
A violently unsafe atmosphere
Is the way John Kahn family attorney Jim Lewis describes what went on during Norfolk Police defensive tactics training in this room.
And you look at the video, it is readily apparent that this program was terribly designed and terribly executed.
Lewis's $35,350,000 wrongful death lawsuit alleges at various times during 2.5 months of training, 4 instructors, including Leldon Sapp, who gave these final blows, repeatedly hit police recruit Kahn, resulting in a brain hemorrhage which created a subdural hematoma. Lewis says the final autopsy, which he would not show us, says that.
Mr. Kahn died as a result of multiple blows to the head.
The Virginia Department of Labor and Industry found the same thing in its investigation. Repeated hits to the head killed Kahn. In the lawsuit, Lewis accuses the 4 instructors who hit Kahn and former police chief Bruce Markey and current chief Sharon Chamberlain of creating a culture that led to Kahn keeping his known head injury secret.
What I'm saying is you should never put these kids in a position to suffer brain injury to start with. But if you're gonna, you better have something in place to make sure that it's detectable in time to do something about it.
Lewis says the Kahn family was offered 6 figures in a worker compensation settlement, but Kahn's widow does not think this is a worker compensation case, calling it a gross negligence case.
Our view of it is terribly designed and terribly executed. The result speaks for itself, Andy. I mean, look what they did.
I asked Lewis, what about those who think Patricia Kahn's lawsuit is an attempted money grab? Lewis, emotional.
Yeah, I am thinking, what do you think it was like for Patty Kahn on Father's Day? And what do you think it's going to be like for Sarah Kahn when she's old enough to understand Father's Day and birthdays? My goodness, yeah, it's a very upsetting case.
Now, for the record, Norfolk likely would have succeeded in fighting the worker compensation case, but the city decided not to give the widow the money. Cities enjoy total immunity in cases like these, but employees have limited immunity. And that is the reason the city of Norfolk is not named in this suit. And we can only assume, though, that the city will fight on behalf of its employees that are named in this multi-million-dollar lawsuit. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
So many layers of this story. Tonight at 6, what the Department of Labor says about the Norfolk Police Department and how the department is changing the way it does business after the Kahn death.
Today, engineers are assessing and repairing fire damage to roads throughout the Great Dismal Swamp. As the fire burns underneath the peat, it's weakening the roads along the ditches. The 5,900-acre fire is about 10% contained. Crews continue to pump water out of Lake Drummond to flood the ditches. More than 380 people are fighting it from the air and on the ground. Lightning started the Dismal Swamp fire on August 4th. 10 on your side viewers continue to send us pictures of the wildfire smoke to report it at WAVY.com. Look at this. These photos came in today from North Carolina and from the Chesapeake Expressway. So where is all the smoke headed next? Let's check in with meteorologist Sergey Galindo in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. Sergey?
Well, it's going to stay into North Carolina through this evening, and in part of the day for tomorrow, it's going to continue to stay into eastern sections of North Carolina before we get a wind shift, and that's going to blow the smoke back up toward the north. Right now, you can see that air quality in alert for most of eastern North Carolina. As I mentioned, a lot of those counties, especially as we talk about Perquimans, Pasquotank, and Camden counties, that air quality is in alert is in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Now, here is the situation as we go into the evening hours. The winds will predominantly be out of the west-northwest, keeping it mostly in the eastern North Carolina and maybe southern sections of Chesapeake and Virginia Beach. But that changes up just a little bit as we head for tomorrow morning. Again, we'll get more of a north-northeasterly flow. So again, North Carolina still will be smelling the smoke once again early tomorrow. But by the afternoon, we get a shift in the wind. It'll be more out of the south-southeast, and that'll push it back toward northern sections of Hampton Roads, potentially even the peninsula. But for today, as we look at live Super Doppler 10, yesterday this time we had some showers and storms on the radar, just a few across the bay, and not really expecting any wet weather for today, but we will talk about some chances for rain in the forecast. I'll have the latest on that coming up in a few minutes. Tom, Nicole?
Thanks, Sergey. Remember, click on our Dismal Swamp Fire story on WAVY.com and you'll find our photo gallery, Tell Me Your Side's coverage, links to air quality alerts, and a link to the latest updates.
Flames shooting 50 feet in the air, a daunting task for firefighters in Hampton. They did battle at the public salvage scrapyard along West Pembroke Avenue just before 1 a.m. They quickly knocked down the fire, had the flames under control in about a half hour. No one was hurt, no word yet on a cause.
The Norfolk Health Department closed 2 Ocean View beaches because of bacteria in the water. The advisory is for Ocean View Park along West Ocean Avenue between First View Street and Duffy's Lane. Sarah Constant Park on West Ocean View Avenue between 4th View Street and Mason Creek Road is also closed. Health officials say they will test the water again and reopen the beaches when the bacteria levels are at safe levels.
Big traffic tie-up today on the peninsula. Only Chopper 10 can give you the view from above of a super load on the move.
I'm John Massey in Chopper 10. We're above the super load that's traveling through Hampton Roads. Take a look below. Earlier today down below you can see the super load that passed through Hampton. It made its way down I-64 eastbound side, exited at Mercury Boulevard. Now it's going to be traveling from Mercury Boulevard over to River Road and then inbound to the shipyard from the north side. Now, police have told us this is a joint operation because this load is so huge traveling through Hampton and Newport News that it's going to be traveling along Mercury Boulevard. They will block off Mercury Boulevard as it makes its way down, and as it crosses over the Mercury Boulevard and Warwick overpasses, no other cars will be allowed on the overpass as it makes that transition over toward the shipyard. I'm John Massey in Chopper 10, WAVY News 10 on your side.
The Iron Horse and crew are headed home. The USS Scranton is set to return to Naval Station Norfolk tomorrow. This is video of the submarine's deployment in January. The crew's mission included Special Forces operations at sea.
Everyone's goal is the same, so why is there a battle to build a new home for these little guys in Virginia Beach? I'll have that story coming up.
And the tide starts rolling Friday with passengers in downtown Norfolk, and Hampton Road still has a lot of questions about light rail. We're on your side getting the answers.
Something deadly in the water. Health officials say a Virginia boy died from an amoeba brain infection. We're on your side with how he came in contact with the microscopic bug, the symptoms, and how you can try to prevent infection.
And the 3-day winning streak comes to an end.
Watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libus, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
State health officials say a child from the Richmond area died from a rare brain infection from an amoeba.
The state health department says the amoeba is found in freshwater lakes, ponds, and rivers during hot weather. 9-year-old Christian Rand's mother says her son picked up the amoeba while swimming in the James River.
Even when they told me that he was brain dead, I mean, I thought he was going to wake up and just say, "Hi, Mommy." I just can't believe he's gone.
Now, a 16-year-old girl from Florida also died from a rare amoeba infection over the weekend. Doctors believe that she was infected while swimming in a river. Infectious disease experts say the amoeba swims up the nose through the sinuses and into the area near the brain.
The infection causes headache, fever, vomiting, stiff neck, and usually results in death within a week. It is extremely rare. Only 32 infections have been reported since 2001.
We're on your side with some safety precautions when swimming in lakes, rivers, and ponds. Hold your nose when you go under. Don't swallow the water. Shower with soap before and after swimming.
From pat down to chat down, hear about the unique security procedure airline passengers at one U.S. airport are going through and what screeners are trying to spot.
And the tide will start rolling in downtown Norfolk, carrying some of you on board, but you still have some questions about light rail. Well, we're on your side getting answers.
And live Super Doppler 10, mostly dry. A couple of showers right across the bay. We'll talk about when we'll see chances for rain, and we'll take a look at the tropics. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
The Tide will carry its first passengers on Friday.
Hampton Roads Transit's putting the finishing touches on this $300 million plus project. And on your sides, Ava Hurdle joins us now from Norfolk tonight at the start of the line. Heard so much about this. We're almost there, Ava.
That's right, Tom and Nicole. We're at the Eastern Virginia Medical Center, and this is the start of the line, and it's also where they put the finishing touches on landscaping and signs, and prospective passengers are ready to ride the Tide. A new sign when flashing in the westbound lane of Interstate 264 alerts drivers to the presence of light rail at the Ballantyne Boulevard exit. You can hear it as it rides along the downtown Norfolk streets. Ed Davidson plans to board the train but has a question.
I don't know what the fares are yet. I think I know basically the route.
Let me show you how this works.
We turn to HRT's Tom Holden for answers.
I'm going to select a one ride validated path. Put in $1 here. Here's my ticket. $1.50 worth of ticket. Here's my change. It's my ticket, and here's my train. The cost to ride the train is $1.50 per trip. The Tide goes from the Eastern Virginia Medical Center station, where we're standing now, east to Newtown Road at the border with Virginia Beach.
Another prospective rider is Rob Warren.
I know the fares. My only question is why does it go further than it does? But I understand it's a starter line.
Expansion is a possibility according to Holden.
This is the project that we have now, and this is what's in the ground and in place today. As many people do know, there is a study that's on hold in Virginia Beach.
Meantime, tickets go on sale Friday morning at the station platforms. And Tide guides will be at those platforms to assist passengers beginning on Friday. But if you'd like more information on the Tide, go to our website, WAVY.com. We're live in Norfolk. Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
And starting at 6 a.m. Saturday, Bank Street will be closed from Plume Street to City Hall Avenue for light rail opening festivities. The street will reopen at around 7 that night. You'll find special coverage of the Tide on WAVY.com. We posted a history of light rail, 10 of your side's reports on the project dating back to 1999, safety information, and a link to the Ride the Tide light rail website.
Oh, when the sun rose over New Jersey this morning, it showed damage from 2 days of record rainfall. Instead of intersections, several neighborhoods had ankle-deep pools. The morning commute meant driving through tire-deep water and around washed-out roadways here, numerous. In one neighborhood, a broken dam washed out a cement walkway. A teen tried to cross it, and a current swept him away. He held onto a tree for dear life for an hour and a half until crews got him out. The 16-year-old, you can see him right there walking under his own power. He was not seriously hurt. Those scenes all too typical around New Jersey today.
Good thing he's okay.
And here, not bad.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful weather for today. I mean, my goodness, temperatures in the low 80s in some spots right along the coast and upper 80s inland. But boy, we didn't have the, the high humidity levels to go along with today. It was a nice northerly breeze. And the good news is, yeah, we're going to keep another day of that before we start to get some changes. Of course, we could certainly use some rain. Not going to happen for today, but we'll get those chances in here by the end of the week. Right now, let's take a look at live Super Doppler 10. Things are sweeping dry. We do have one little shower that's pushing eastward away from the eastern shore right now. Otherwise, we have lots of sunshine in place. You can see here on Tower Cam 10, just a few popcorn cumulus clouds. Other than that, sunny skies and temperatures not bad at all. As I mentioned, still some low 80s hanging around this afternoon. 82 degrees Newport News, 85 Norfolk, 83 Virginia Beach, 85 Hampton, Chesapeake, 84 degrees, and 84 Suffolk, a high of today of 86 so far. So it's been a beautiful one. And again, we're going to feel more conditions like this as we work our way into tomorrow, maybe a degree or two warmer. We have some clouds starting to work their way in toward the east, so we'll see still mostly clear skies, I think, over the next hour. And then after that, we'll start to see a little bit more cloud cover. But again, those clouds will erode as we start to lose the daytime heating, and skies will become mostly clear for tonight. Here's the overall big picture. Not a whole lot going on in terms of wet weather. We still have that upper level low pressure system continuing to work its way toward the north and east. So a little bit of wraparound moisture, and you can see some of that sliding just offshore there. And also seeing some showers back across portions of the west, and that is going to stay away from us as high pressure is going to build in through tonight and into tomorrow. So temperatures all across the east looking nice. You get those very hot temperatures once you head well to the west, but most of the east today had some very nice temperatures. And as we go through future track again, you can see mostly clear skies as we head forward tonight. Tomorrow we'll wake up with some sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds in the morning hours. By noon, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, and we'll keep it dry through the day on Wednesday. Now Thursday, things begin to change a bit. We've got a frontal boundary that's going to approach, and that'll give us a chance for some showers and storms. Notice by noon some heavy rain out to the west. Some of that starts to push eastward, weakening as it does so. But again, we'll look for those rain chances to go up as we head for late Thursday. In terms of the tropics, this is now post-tropical low GERT, and again, it's lost its tropical characteristics. Winds right now 40 miles per hour, and still no threat to land as it will continue to work its way into the northern waters of the Atlantic and then eventually weaken. Here's the area we're still continuing to watch, still very disorganized. National Hurricane Center has still given it about a 20% chance it will strengthen. Right now, it doesn't look very healthy at all, but we will continue to keep a close eye on that. As we look at the forecast for tomorrow, temperatures back in the 80s. Again, maybe a couple of degrees warmer, but again, we'll look for some areas of smoke across North Carolina early in the day, and I think that flow will switch and bring some of that across Hampton Roads as we go into the late afternoon. On the peninsula, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s as well, and your 7-day forecast reveals 80s throughout the next several days. We'll warm things up a little bit more by the end of the weekend, but rain chances, that's the key. We certainly could use it. That'll arrive late Thursday through the early weekend. Saturday could see some showers and storms early on, but it looks like we'll dry things out in the afternoon. By Sunday, dry, a little bit warmer, and then back in the mid-80s Monday into Tuesday.
You have new clothes, new supplies, but what about back-to-school anxiety? We're on your side with how you can help your kids get ready for the first day of school.
And a rabid raccoon picked up on the peninsula, where it was found, and how you can keep your family and your pets safe. That's new at 5:30.
We're on your side tracking breaking news with the tide.
It's the second crash involving a light rail train in the last week or so. This is a live picture now from Chopper 10. Here's John Massey. What do you got, John?
As you can see down below this afternoon, we got an accident involving a light rail and a van. It does appear there are injuries involved with this. It looks like the light rail is stopped. It's got now rescue crews remain on scene at this point, working to help the injured. Don't have any word right now of just how many people are injured or how many people were on the van or whether or not the driver of the light rail was injured. But as we all know, light rail begins service on Friday, so these are still just the practice runs for the drivers to get them familiar with the routes and the speeds as they come through town. But again, this is the second collision between light rail that they've had just since they started the practice sessions, and they haven't even begun operations yet. So what everybody needs to be aware of is anytime you come across one of these intersections where a light rail comes through, slow down and treat it just like you would any other set of train tracks that stop, look, and listen. Make sure you don't pull out in front of one of these vehicles because they are extremely heavy and it do take quite some distance before they're able to stop. So they're not going to be able to stop like a car would. So just use extreme caution. Any further updates that we get, we'll be sure to get right back to you. Tom?
All right, John Massey reporting above 2nd Street. That was the exact intersection.
Same location, right.
Where we had the first hit-and-run accident before last week, Nicole.
And that's over, to put it in more perspective, near EVM Mass and the Red Cross over there in the Ghent section, kind of on the outskirts of downtown.
Very wide intersection. So as John says, you have to stop, look, and listen. We'll go back to the scene when we get more information. Well, it's time to get into back-to-school mode, and that could be unsettling for kids. So we're on your side with advice from the experts on how you can ease their jitters. Get organized and set boundaries now.
You want to put away the computer games, talk about cell phone time for older children, put away lots of the TV time, make your home a place where you have a place to study. When you come home from school, you have a place for your books. You want to have a clean, organized environment, just like you would for your office.
Psychologists also say make the kids go to bed early, set the morning alarm, start a breakfast routine, and wake up the brain by reading or doing some flashcards. A new security screening, the TSA asking passengers new questions at one U.S. airport. Hear what they're getting from the answers next.
And 2 of the Virginia Zoo's lion cubs will soon be on the move. No, they can't leave. We'll tell you when they're leaving and where they're going next at 5:30.
Someone's knocking at the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on a second. Let me get this on. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, Tom. Hey, Stephanie.
Hi, check, check, check.
Yeah. Be ready for a pop quiz of sorts the next time you pass through security at Boston's Logan International Airport. An agent might ask you who packed your bags or how long you'll be gone during your trip. It's not really the answer they're after. Instead, screeners will be monitoring passenger behavior.
Anybody who indicates just the typical nervousness wouldn't be considered as any excessive signs of problem. So we're looking for people that exceed that baseline. And if they exceed it with enough indicators, then we would subject them to additional screening.
Logan International is the only airport doing this, but if it works, other airports might get on board. Stay on board right now because WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.